Welcome, Sagittarius. This is Regina from Pacific Tarot, and I'm doing a tarot card reading for you. The energy is still resonant from the full moon in Aquarius and Lionsgate portal opening, but the energy that I'm resonating to strongly is Mercury's retrograde motion turn direct in a couple of days. And this is extending this opportunity for us to adjust, to shift, to transition, utilizing the resources, the information we have at hand to strategize our forward movement as we are looking very deeply into how we are showing up or potentially showing up as whole people, honoring that divine feminine within all of us to express our gifts, to exercise our talents. This is incredible. This is important at a time when we are challenging ourselves to apply ourselves to the world more authentically. Your overall energy, Sagittarius, is the Hierophant, which is all about that commitment. And this feels as though the commitment you've made is to a spiritual practice, and that practice is the desire to continuously grow and expand. And as those of you that are educators at any level understand that growing involves learning, and learning involves teaching. So there's a synastry between teaching and learning. Even as the teacher, you're always learning from your students and vice versa. The student is obviously learning from their teachers, but they have to teach their teachers how they learn best. So this is very much entwined with the idea of the power of Mercury that controls not only movement, but thought, communication, and how we learn. So this is powerful at this time. You've made a commitment to the ability to share information, to bring others along with you, to be a part of a team of disciples or scribes or a collaboration in which you are actively learning and sharing information with each other. At the bottom of the deck, the Judgment card. This feels like a second chance. This feels like you having another opportunity to recognize something that is divinely ordained for you. This is a spiritual, personal journey that you have entertained before. Perhaps it's a connection that you have connected with in the past, but it has never come to full fruition. Even when you knew in the past, and this could be deep in the past, this can be in your childhood, this can be in your formative years, you knew the power of this opportunity or relationship. What did they say? Failure to launch. It never came to developed into a relationship that was productive or long lasting. It may never have gone beyond a superficial connection, or you may have stayed on the outside of an activity or an enterprise, a project, when you could not give yourself the permission to center yourself there. So this is a beautiful calling that you're receiving at this time. And it can be a calling to speak your truth, to exercise your gifts more fully in a way that you're now prepared to do. The oracle, crystal oracle I pulled for you, Sagittarius, is creativity. I allow the creativity of my soul to shine through into my world. This is powerful because for you, the full moon has really focused on the area of your life that controls all of the areas that are Mercury's province. So, this ability to learn, to grow, to educate, to teach, to expand, to look and process all of the layers of information and intuition, knowledge that are coming to you. You are processing them in a very complex, internalized way. And it is giving yourself that leisure to process that is important. Understanding that this has to happen at your own pace. It cannot be rushed, no matter what the imperatives and deadlines of the world are. You must take your time. It's absolutely okay to mull over a project, to really consider it, to look deeply in it, to evaluate alternatives before you move forward with any commitment that is going to, no doubt, be life-changing. This is a general reading, so it may not resonate for all of you, and I want you to consider now that this is an invitation to meditate on your own energies, your own interests, your own concerns, your own challenges. I am merely helping you to emerge these things into your consciousness so that you can be aware, not be motivated or pulled or driven by things that you're unaware of. So if it doesn't work for you, that's fine. And I bless you and invite you to check your other placements for messages that will resonate for you. So in the present energy, I have the Emperor. Wow. The Emperor is about, again, the things that we can't control, that we have now relinquished any effort or illusion that we can be in control of myriad forces in the world that we're more than familiar with at this current time. And instead, we have taken ownership of our lives, of our realities, understanding that our reality is a consequence of our choices. And it is how we respond to the world that actually becomes the way that we master uh, our own emotions, our own experiences, our own communication. And this is powerful right now. The Emperor is very much about your strategizing and considerations on behalf of a larger project, a community, an effort that's important to you. And that has importance for an entire community, a group, a team, a family. So this is about mastering yourself in a way that doesn't seek control over others, but rather controls your responses to situations in the most thoughtful, strategic way possible. And this is how you are navigating, for many, a world that feels as though it is chaotic, disruptive, in many ways cruel, by your ability to not be controlled by those factors and instead speaking, expressing yourself from your own authenticity, your own experience of what you know to be right, right for you and right for others. In the past, the Oracle of Wings. This is the Page of Swords, and I always like the Page of Swords because it is about this beginner's mind, this openness, this curiosity, and this understanding the limitations of what you know. You know that you don't know everything. With your range of interests, you and your desire to explore and discover the world, the goal is not to hoard knowledge. That is not your characteristic approach. But instead, you have come to a place in your life where you realized you thought you knew where you were going and what you were doing. And you have come to realize that, in fact, you don't know. You didn't know. You were operating under false premises, and has caused you to kind of begin to observe, to witness what is actually happening, not only in your reality, but in your own body. How do you feel when certain things occur to you? Instead of making that opportunity of retrospective worry, concern, guilt, you are living this ability to simply detach yourself from your feelings and observe. This is a practice, and for some of you, this practice has become a part of your meditations, your spirituality, your philosophical shifts. And in the future, we have the Goddess of Wings. And this is the King of Swords. So we're flanked by swords, again, emphasizing communication, words, the way that you are talking to yourself, with others, the way you're learning and processing information. This is the way in which you have come from this place of letting go of what it is you thought you knew as the motivation and the driving force to your actions. You've actually come to a place where you can facilitate new ideas. You've allowed yourself to become fully curious. And instead of feeling that you need to know everything, you're simply at a place where you're asking questions. And you're asking the right questions, and you're not talking simply to yourself. You're speaking with others. And in any environment, you are curious about what other ideas are out there, what other alternatives exist, what are different ways of doing things than the way I or we have always done them. So this is a lot about you guiding a group inquiry, not falsely attaching yourself to a particular convention or tradition, but instead facilitating an opportunity for all members to buy into a particular action or set of beliefs that are meant to open up the possibilities rather than to define them or shut them down. And I do believe all of this has a lot to do with the advancement in technology that we're all exploring, grappling with, cursing, really understanding the way that we can utilize these resources to gain better results in our lives. I want to take a moment to say that if you're resonating with this reading, please like this video and subscribe to my channel, Pacific Tarot. It is important that more people can have access to my readings, and I really appreciate those of you that comment, that show appreciation, have questions, have thoughts, share your own processes or experience with some of these powerful ideas that are coming out. So thank you for that. I'm going to clarify here the Emperor card in the present with a couple of cards, the Six of Pentacles and the Five of Pentacles. Wow, big changes here. So I do feel that you have come to understand that all of your relationships are the result of contracts, of agreements that you have made, not only with yourself, but how they're expressed to others. And there's been quite an evolution to get to this place where you understand that, in fact, it is guided, it is directed, it is motivated by what it is you desire. So for some of you, the act of asking for what you want has been challenging and difficult. And in the past, you were allowed others to define you and consequently what it was that you wanted, what it was you were told to want, or what you were supposed to want. And that I can absolutely tell not only by the colors in this card, but by the energy I'm receiving that this was like prison for you. You experienced being trapped or in a limited place that totally goes against your nature, the nature of exploring the world, discovering new things, adventurousness, interest in philosophical meanderings, spiritual, even religious ideas. So the big ideas were somehow you felt trapped within a very safe, conventional lane. And this quite likely dominated a lot of the struggle that you've had in your life. Even if you knew that this lane wasn't for you, you had to experience a lot of guilt, a lot of shame, even for going outside of the familiar circle, whatever that meant. And you have battled that shame and that guilt. Why couldn't you be satisfied with what others were? But you have come to realize that actually the fact of the matter is that there's nothing wrong with your desires as long as you're able to articulate those. And now that you've come to say that out loud to yourself and to others, I want this over here. And this is the basis from which I am in relationship with others. This is the basis for all of my exchanges of energy, so that they're fair, they're just, I'm not oppressed, I'm not agreeing to something or making assumptions about my part in it. We have developed a living agreement. That means that my agreements, my relationships shift and change as we grow and change. So this is a beautiful dynamic where everything is kind of in working order here, but it's coming out of a place of lack, of isolation, of being excluded. For the Oracle of Wings in the past, this is the Page of Swords, and we have the Eight of Pentacles and the Tower. Interesting. So this is the part of you that recognized you didn't know what in the hell you were doing. And I'm saying that laughingly because the Eight of Pentacles means at the same time you have worked hard, worked really hard in a variety of ways. Whatever you did, you rolled up your sleeves and you did your best. However, as you had understood what you didn't know, that perhaps was itself the result of, I'm sorry, I was distracted by a neighbor looking in the window. The result of some unpredictable, catastrophic event that you were unsure of would be it would lead to a complete destruction of perhaps even a way of life, a lifestyle. So it appears to me that you operated with good faith in this former life that you experienced. You did your best. You felt that you were improving upon your skills, preparing yourself for opportunities that you expected. But the only opportunity that manifested was destruction. That this hand of God reached down and manifested something that was deep inside of you. And if this tower, this structure that was built or being built by you, was a reflection of a conventional lifestyle or identity that you had never really subscribed to, you manifested this. You willed this. You knew you were on the wrong path for you. Even though you worked hard, you really wanted to believe in it, you were really believing in the potential success. But that success, it feels to me as though it never came. And nevertheless, all of the efforts you made to prepare yourself were not wasted. And in the future, the goddess of wings, this is the King of Swords energy, is clarified by the Seven of Pentacles. And, well, something. And the Knight of Pentacles. Okay, so we're practical here. You are really looking long and hard at this time at the energies that you have, that you are questing towards. You're quantifying the work you've done in the past. You're looking at where you've invested in yourself and where that has led you. And you're dissatisfied, I believe, with the results. You're feeling like I should have more. I should be somewhere different. And there's value to wanting more. There's nothing wrong with wanting more. But I also feel like you're still coming from an unconscious place of what should be, what woulda, coulda, shoulda space, even though you have long rejected the core of this identity. And so there's a little bit of complexity going on for you, Sagittarius, where you are measuring yourself against standards you long rejected. And so that is really an exercise in guilt and shame, and you need to stop that. But the way that you're actually doing it is much more productive than that. You're really continuing to use this time as an exercise in truly what you have built, what you have gained, what you've learned. And you're really reconsidering this in a positive way with this energy of being open to unknown possibilities, unimagined possibilities that you now see as existing. And that energy is leading you to the establishment of a path. You have a vision, but you need to know the next steps moving forward. And I believe you are taking those. You're giving yourself this moment, and this has come through for other fire signs as well. This is not a time to rush. You are standing still. You may be appearing to stand still to others. You're not standing still at all. Clearly, you are working in a variety of ways, not only on your personal development, in all of your relationships and exchanges of energy, and how you are evaluating and looking at closely what it is you have built. The Nine of Pentacles says, what next? Now what do I need to do to bring this down to earth, to create something tangible, to be productive, so that I can pursue my abundance? I'm going to finish up this reading with a Seed and Sickle Oracle card, and I pulled Basil. Interesting. Oh, and there's another one underneath too. The Cornflower. I'm going to take them both. We'll look up Basil first. It is number 24, so the number 6 may be important to you. It's reiterating this idea of balance, harmony, fairness, which are all worthy and qualities, idealistic qualities. And Sagittarius, you are nothing if you are not idealistic. You're due to set out on a journey, be it physical or spiritual, so be ready for a change in your life. In Italy, pots of basil are left on windowsills to indicate that guests are welcome. And in Tudor England, basil was given as a gift to ensure safety while traveling. Drawing this card suggests that you're inviting in a change of scenery. Be sensible about your decisions, and your feet will lead you safely where you need to go. And the cornflower number 11 is a different energy. And the cornflower reads, when cornflowers grew more commonly among agricultural crops, they were considered weeds by the farmers whose sickles were blunted by their thick stems. But it was a field of those weeds that bid Queen Louise of Prussia and her children when they fled from Berlin, and kept them entertained in their weaving of crowns from the flowers. A situation or idea may seem unimportant, but even weeds can be treasure in disguise. Don't dismiss them. Take the time to find their true value. If you've enjoyed this content, Sagittarius, there's more content here to check out. Thank you for your likes and your subscribes. Until next time, namaste.